Welcome back, everybody. It's time for Rika Furude Simulator 24 Game of the Year Edition. In our last step, we ended up with a lot of ones. We didn't get any Nipatsies. And you can also download it from the link up top. docsmadepeoplesexy.itch.io. So, 3,200 fates in. This will be the first time we're playing this game. Let's see if we can get Rika Furude a new pair of life. A new miraculous outcome. If for the community as a meme. Oh, for sure, for sure. I'm sure she wouldn't mind. I just want to make, sure. That's all. That's all. Rika Furude, we're so back, we need this miracle. Miracle. Rika. Nipah! We're Nipahing. Oh, look at this. We're trying to get fucking artsy with our rolls already, Rika. Okay. See you, I see you. But we watched Bocchi's, as in we, I mean me, watched Bocchi episode 9 and 10 last night. It is such a funny show. I think I might have undermined just how fucking funny this show can be a lot of the times. Because of how absurd Bocchi herself is. I will say, probably the funniest scene I've seen on the show happened in, I want to say 9 was the one where they went to the beach. Bocchi's reactions to certain situations is fucking hilarious. It's a large part of a bit of the enjoyment of the show, really, is just her being obtusely in her own head to the point of her reactions being so severe. And it's nice to see that she's also grown a lot as a person as the show has gone on. Even coming around to thank somebody else for pushing her into something that she couldn't push herself into. And sometimes you just need that little bit of a push. A little nudge. A little noodle. Oh yeah, and as far as streaming goes, switch topics here really quick. For all you young and upcoming strapping streamers out there, to make one thing abundantly clear, if you get anybody disrupting your chat whatsoever, please understand that you did not see this person prior to this day. And when you ban them, you don't need to see them ever again. They're nothing. They don't need to be part of your life. Don't worry about it. I've banned hundreds of people in my chat over the years. Don't have any remorse. But I found the description behind Nipah. Oh, nice. It's an onomatopoeia, I want to say. Because Polly's a fucking goddamn genius. So Nipah, which means to laze around, at least according to the end story characters. I thought it was an onomatopoeia about exploding every time. Something about, like, why is this happening or something like that. Seems to be a few atypical words in use. Nipah is one of them. The elderly uses the word a lot. Nipah around. Huh. Interesting. Give an explanation at the end. Oh, see, I've never actually watched the show. I was going to watch it with Polly once we hit the miracle. Quite a heavy dialect, sure. That's one of the other interesting parts of language is that, along with learning it, you really have to learn it because, like, even if you want to speak English, all English speaking definitely is not the same. You can go anywhere from. That's a lot of sixes. You can go anywhere from like Wisconsin to like upper East Coast down to Florida all the way to California and have so many different specific accents and just, you know, the way people talk. Alright, bubbler boys. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, see? I knew it. I knew bubbler was gonna come up. That's always the first thing that comes up when talking about up north of Wisconsin. The fucking bubblers, man. Also, you have a very, you do say sorry. You got that specific pronunciation for O words. That's more Canadian, I want to say. I have to bring up bubbler every year. But I've always found the intricacies of people's speech in other places be one of the most interesting and one of the hardest reasons for my brain to ever get around the idea of learning multiple languages. I always liked the idea. I did take German in high school. And what I remember is Bleistiftspitze. And that's about it. But it's a fun word to say, and I still use it to this day. Any German speakers in the audience know what a Bleistiftspitze is? Yeah, I love language. I don't think my brain doesn't have the right concentrations to learn it, I don't think, but the uniqueness and enjoying of other language and the prettiness, like, I really like hearing other languages a lot, even if I can't understand them. Leave the pigs alone, blank. My 4 years of high school German are failing me. Oh, it's like one of the most things you would never say in another language. It means pencil sharpener. It's not something you really, not a need to know thing, especially in this day and age. But it's funny. I don't know why it stayed with me, but it did. And to this day, Bleistiftspitze is always something I'll remember. Over anything else, for whatever reason. Kinda because it sounded amusing and it meant something amusing to me, therefore, it'll just stick in my brain forever. Yeah. Let's have an enormous Schweinstücke. Do 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 do. Nipah. Okay. Nipah, Nipah, Nipah. Nipichua. Yo, look, Rika. We need a Nipah, okay? We need that Nipah. I don't even care which Nipah it is at this point. I just need a Nipah in my life, Rika. Don't say that. She'll roll all ones again. I just know. I know you're just waiting there, Rika, to roll 6 ones again. Beep, 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 beep. But as for back to Bochi, I forgot I was talking about that. Episode 9's great. It's basically them finally getting to know each other as people and hang out as friends, as more than just bandmates, and it's just a wonderful little journey of them coming together. And episode 10 is where there's a thing going on at school, and she wants to sign up, and she was really close to actually signing up herself. But those intrusive fucking thoughts, man, they get her. And it's an episode of her trying to go through basically being consumed. Like, the whole idea of that episode is her just getting too consumed into her own thoughts again. But the theme of that one is that you get too consumed in your thoughts, and it's harder to actually get out of your thoughts in that way. And that is really true. Before I was on medication, which reminds me, I'd have to see if I took it. I think I did. But before I was on my medication, I used to have brain moments where I just couldn't control it. Did I take today? I'm gonna take it now, just in case. Just in case. I ain't going through today with being at the end of the day being miserable and completely lost control of my brain. But yeah, the medicine helps significantly with both focusing, ADHD meds, and the antidepressants from keeping me from sinking down too low. On top of that, getting my stream to help focus me completely is also, excuse me, also a big part of the whole situation. Help me out. Saying you took them before we got started, yeah. That's why I was like, I wasn't sure if I took them before I started streaming, which sometimes I do because I like to get it out ahead of time so I can wake up a little. It depends on when I start streaming. If I start early, I tend to try to take them a little later into the stream. That way they can last a little longer. Because I basically run on a 12-hour energy cycle now. And it can extend a little further than that. But once the pill starts to wear out, I get tired. And I have to make sure I can get everything I want to get accomplished in that time frame done, which includes streaming, and then most likely going downstairs, doing some dishes, cleaning the kitchen, playing with the dogs, feeding the dogs, amongst other things. And after that, it's shower time, and usually by then it's about the 12-hour mark. So I'm usually just really fucking exhausted every time it comes to the end of the day. So I used to like jumping out and streaming later some nights too, for like an hour or two, just for the hell of it. But I haven't done any of that lately because I'm just so tired by the end of the day. And I like relaxing. And lately, I've really liked watching, well, Bochi, and just relaxing and watching things. It goes through cycles, really. Sometimes I just really like gaming all the time, and sometimes I just like watching things a lot and taking a break from gaming. Gaming is essential for me because it's one of the few things that really calms my brain down and helps me focus. Even more so than maybe the medicine itself. Because if my brain's not in a good condition to enjoy something, it is genuinely hard for me to function on top of enjoying it or getting through whatever experience it may be. So, I try my darndest to get everything in that 12-hour span. And finally, at the end of the day, I'll just kind of relax, maybe watch some things, hang out with some friends, play some board games or something. The board games I really enjoy is The Gambler. It's like a silly, random chance board game, but it's just really fun. But it's just relaxing things like that. I like talking about the shows I watch. And I like talking to the people I like the most. Ooh, 4 dots. And the safest way that I do tends to be text, but I don't mind like a VC. But like my phone's so fucking broken that I can't even use it anymore. It's just genuinely gone. I do need a new phone, but that costs cheddar. And it's fine, really. I don't use it that much to warrant getting a new one sooner. I'm mostly on my computer anyways. Believe it or not, when you stream every single day, you tend not to leave your house too much. I will say on this journey, I did take my computer to Arizona and stream every day I was there. I know, right? I'm a bit of a homebody, and I'm okay with that. There are some experiences I would absolutely love to do, but it's more just with people than going anywhere specific. Like I was saying before, it's kind of hard for me to open up a lot and talk to people because just general life experiences and lack of... Like, I'm like Bochi when it comes to actually fucking talking to people. Like, it's really, really hard for me. Something I noticed growing up specifically is how hard it was for me to make eye contact with people. And how much it hurt to, like, speak through that to try to talk to them. And, like, how genuinely tired it would make me, and I had no idea why. And, like, you can't explain that to anybody, because nobody really knows it, or, like... Unless it's something you... Like, back then, it was a lot less known. Like, things like that were just not known. And you can't really explain it. Like, and a lot of people are gonna just be like, well, just, you know, try this instead, and it comes from a good place, some of the time, where they're trying to encourage you to get through it, which is fine. But it's not something that can be fixed. You can get better at it, but I've never not had that feeling with strangers in my whole life. When I could get down and like, ooh, a 4-6er, there we go, Rika, now we're talking, that equals 6. But it's tough. Like, it's just, like, it's not something that's easy to explain. And people, especially in Western society, look very down on people who can't work or work like everybody else, or just wants to work their fucking life away. And like I've tried. I've been in jobs in real life, and I can't do it, you know? it's just not in my mental capacity to deal with that on a daily basis. I can't drive, you know? I get overloaded very easily in some situations. Lots of outworld stimulation is draining to me. It always has been, but even more so now since I'm mostly a shut-in because COVID is a thing. So I can't really go out and explore many things anyways without a mask. And if I wear a mask, I get all the people looking at me like I'm a fucking alien or an asshole. And I'd rather just avoid the whole experience. And just do my thing and hang out online with, talk to people and watch shows and do stuff like that. Yeah, and it's not just that, it's the fucking dirty-ass looks you get, too. From these old-ass people that just look at you like, oh, God. And you know they're just shitty-ass people, too, as soon as they give you that look. That's like the one big thing COVID really did to the world, is really out so many pieces of shit so openly. And it's so fucking obvious how much those people just don't fucking care about anybody but themselves. Masks when they go out, and I assume the way I always have, the person's at an immunity risk. Whoa. 5-2, Zrika, and a 3. That was close. We almost got a third Nipah there. Ask every week to church during cold flu season. No, yeah, like it's like commonplace in Japan forever to wear a mask when you're sick or if you're immunocompromised. And during a fucking pandemic, you think people would be a little more serious, but no, we had to make it a political issue. If you believe COVID is real, you are a fucking idiot. You're a leftist or some shit. It hurts on such a core level how fucking stupid people are and how much they refuse to just give things a chance or try to understand something else. Like, say plague gets better impact. You ain't wrong, Armorgite. It won't matter, because they'll just laugh it off. Most of them don't even think COVID exists, or that it was perpetuated from Biden or something. The unreal stupidity in this fucking planet drives me goddamn crazy. Oh my god, we're almost already done on fates. I might have to extend another 100 fates today. As well was the medical professional. Oh yeah, and that still do. Or medical professionals that won't treat you for personal/religious reasons. Pisses me the fuck off. I read a week ago on Reddit that people who are pessimists tend to have worse long-term health outcomes. Never lied about getting it. So it's a big deal or avoid it. What's up, Black Belt? Getting the vaccination. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I have a perfect story for that. So me and my friend, we're going to get our shots. We're all masked up in CVS. And my friend was just trying to make light conversation. She's like, oh, well, how's this shot? I hear it's pretty brutal. I think I saw a 6'4" there for a second. And she simply said, oh, I don't do that. And she was like, and my friend was like, huh? It's like, well, I don't like the way it makes me feel, so I don't take it. I simply told my friend, let's go take a seat. And I simply said, don't ever ask anybody about COVID again in public. You're always going to be disappointed. Like, this was a fucking medical professional behind the counter saying this. And yeah, they literally lie to people. Like, they buy fake cards and lie to people. Which is also incredibly fucked up on a completely different level, mind you. But it's very, very frustrating to be stuck in a situation where there's obvious things that even these boomer-ass motherfuckers grew up with, like vaccines that we've been using for years, that are suddenly taboo because people want to win a vote so they can stay popular. I hate how a lot of the world is ran. Like, it upsets me greatly every time I think about it. The evidence provided by the vaccination has by far been the most stress-tested vaccination and the most updated medical procedures. Yes, exactly. I get it every time it's up. Lost to polio, Grandpa? Exactly! These were things that have been around forever. And suddenly they're bad because your favorite political team says it's bad. Ugh. Sorry, I got a little stressed there. What's up, OWG? How you doing? It's good to see you today. Got a lot of straights happening today. It's just so fucking frustrating, and it's a big, large reason why I just don't travel at all anymore. I barely leave the house. I just don't want anything to do with it. I have so many good friends. I am blessed to have the friends I do, and the friends that talk to me and hang out, and the people that come to my chat every day. It's truly a fucking blessing that I have surrounded myself with good people, whether it was accidental or not. But it's just, it hurts. Like, it's easy to scream as much as you want at the top of your lungs, but to get them to understand the error of what they're doing is the impossibility that you climb. Because some people just don't want to change. Some people just want to keep rooting for that team. It's why sports are so on the nose when it comes to, like, worship, essentially. The whole political spectrum that essentially places these people as, like, rock stars of the political world. They love that narcissistic attention. It's disgusting. It's just so fucking disgusting. Arthur Digby Sellers wrote 156 episodes. Dude, the bulk of the series, not exactly. At least I don't care what not. I'm not looking for conspiracy theories based on entertainment news and false lies. Don't get me started. Well, it's crazy that you can have a political platform based on hating other people. Yes! Yes, it is! And yet, here we are, openly hating other people, and voting for it, and acting under the guise that it's for family. Oh. I genuinely do my best to look at every side of an argument to try to understand what the other person is trying to say. And in all the arguments in my life, especially as I've gotten older, and especially as the right specifically has gotten more and more brash with their racial and transphobic and homophobic views that they just put full on display, and they have 1, 2, 3. That's a sweet looking straight. I gotta take a picture of that. But it's hold on here. Do. Yeah, what's up, Kalakaku? Oh, you know we gotta get our daily Nipah in. Yeah, that's literally their whole platform. They don't say anything, they don't do anything, they just hate, and people are along for the ride. And it is scary how many people are along for that ride. But the thing is, a lot of those people really do not understand the ride that they're on, because there's so much misinformation put out there, there's so much bullshit that they're just fed and they believe without a doubt. Hello, Fox fucking News or any ridiculous news source like that. A lot of them don't. And honestly, it hurts a lot because I have very close people to me that don't understand what they're voting for, and it really hurts. AI is another issue that's been going on that is going to run rampant, and it's going to need to be stopped at all costs at a certain point, because people are going to just start openly manipulating political figures saying specific things and stuff like that, and it's going to get so out of hand that, you know... Same entity, yeah, exactly. It's just people, but some of us idiots care about trying to make things better, and some of us just want to feel good by putting down others. I don't think, as a default, humans ever want to put others down. I think a lot of humans... I think, actually, the entire core of humanity has been manipulated for so long that this is how we excuse ourselves to act, and we think it's okay. It's not. We don't need to put each other down. We don't need to get after each other. There's no reason to fight each other at all. If we work together, the planet would be a fucking paradise. We have more than enough resources to go around. Like, we have an absurd amount of resources to go around. We just don't do it because rich-ass people like controlling people, and with that control of the media and the manipulation of everything, the whole masses get swept to it. This goes back generations. This is not just a recent thing. This has been happening for a very long time, which is why a lot of people are fucking sick of it. The XCOM Steel Eyes? No, it's just... It's absurd. Like, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. Like, I understand why people grew up looking at the way the things they did, voting the way they did, but there's so much more, since the internet has become a thing, there's so much actual information out there that you can look up, watch, and see. You can see all the edits that these major news sources do to make themselves look better. You can see all the manipulation that goes around. Manipulation tactics higher up goes around in every single thing in history that has ever existed. Because once people get power, they want to feel that control of other people under their, like, boot. And that gives them personal power over other people. And it's that narcissistic controlling behavior is the fucking problem. And that has been at the leader of humanity for how fucking long? Regardless of where you are on the planet. And the thing is I'm gonna bring up something that happened years and years ago. Is when we landed on Hawaii for the first time. Our wonderful ancestors, well, you know, whose ever ancestors, white people ancestors, went there and they saw everybody laying around and enjoying themselves. And they thought they were all lazy. But the thing is they all did their work. They're a community of people who did their work, and then they like to hang out at the rest of the day and enjoy life. But no, instead of that, we got dumbasses going over there and colonializing them. Oh yeah, sure, black belt. I don't want to just specifically blame that, but the core of issues comes from those kind of things. And yes, there is evil from all parts of the world. There's genocides going on in own countries and stuff like that. This is specific to this standpoint. Because when we went over to Hawaii and they were profiting off that shit, it's the whole idea that they went there and their first reaction was that they were being lazy. This really reminds me of the conversation I had with the bullshit wannabe quack-ass doctor I had who wanted to do my physical a few weeks ago when I was trying to get SSI. I thought it was going to be a mental evaluation, but again, they sent me to another physical evaluation, and the first fucking words out of his mouth were, "So what's keeping you from being in the job force?" And I was off my medicine for 2 days at that point. I almost fucking flipped his desk. I was so fucking mad. I was like, is this fucking serious? I've been doing this for years. And now I come here again. And I have to deal with this shit again. So I was like, this isn't a mental, I'm done here. And he rushed me through the physical examination and pushed me out the door. Because they do it on purpose. It's just to keep delaying so they don't have to help people. It's disgusting behavior. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. I don't believe that at all. This has been the second time in 3 years I've had the same fucking thing. I don't want to hear insurance being a part of shit. They keep doing this. I keep reapplying, and they keep sending me to do the same shit. It's all a workaround. I don't want to hear a damn thing about insurance. I mean, that's fine. I understand you work insurance. That isn't the situation here. I have been run around so much. So fucking much. It has nothing to do with my Medi-Cal. I can say that much. The only time Medi-Cal really came up is when my therapist moved to another clinic and I couldn't have her again since Medi-Cal didn't cover it. But the thing, I've already had that test. They just gave me the same fucking one. Just a year or two later. It meant nothing. It did nothing for them. There was no addition to that. It's just another fucking waste of time. It was literally the same thing. And the first fucking doctor that gave it to me, that was at the height of the pandemic, and that motherfucker wasn't even wearing a mask. He just came in, did the thing really quick, didn't look like he had any interest at all, went outside and smoked a cigarette. I was like, okay, sure. Yeah, and insurance is shit. The idea behind insurance is shit. And yeah, no, I'm with you, Black Belt. I'm absolutely with you. And you working in the game makes me understand completely that you know a lot of where this shit's coming from. But I'm still have been run around so much, and it has nothing to do with insurance and everything doing with. Let me also say this. I was talking to my psych. I've been talking to her for a year or two now, and the last time I talked to her, she literally just said, "You're gonna have to get help somewhere else. SSI is too difficult for me. I just can't figure it out."
And I was like, okay, that's fine. I appreciate you giving it your all. But she just couldn't do it. How many 6 of a kinds have you gotten by now? What's up, Tengu? On the bottom, you can see Nipahs. We have 1-1 and 1-5 down here. Those are the 2 we have. Hey, X-Gemini. 2 Geminis. But I am with you, Black Belt. I am not against you on this case. You work in it. You know the business. My beef isn't with that necessarily. My beef is with how the system works, period. It's so overly complicated, so it doesn't get people the help that they need. And they do it on purpose. They absolutely do this shit on purpose. And it pisses me off to no end. I am 40, and I still have not been able to do so many things in my life because my brain just doesn't work like a neurotypical. And that's okay. So I try to get help otherwise, and I just get fucking thrown around all over the place. Nobody's straight with me, and like I can't even do it. I have to ask Ant for help because it infuriates me so much. I can't do it. Like, he's so much more collected mentally than me in a lot of areas, so he helps me a lot with a lot of that shit. And like it just bugs me to no end. No, I don't, actually. I'm trying to get disability. That's the part where I'm trying to get. And I've asked for help from other people. I've asked help from my psych, my former therapist. I've gotten basically the sign-off from both my therapist and my psych, and none of it matters. They just shoot me through the same hoops that I've always going through, and it is so frustrating, to say the least. Oh no, I know what I know you're messing around, Tango. No worries. I'm just going off. It's just frustrating. What you have, yeah, to 2K, yeah. I do remember that, especially if you're like, if you're two people that are partners or something that are both disabled don't get married because they also completely gut how much money you get if you're with a partner. Like, it's so mean. For no fucking reason, man. Like, fuck these people. Soulless assholes only out for fucking money. It's so worthless. It's such a waste of time. Since when did life only become about chasing bank account numbers? I'm all going for a high score as much as everybody else. But human suffering and money ain't it. It ain't it. It ain't worth it. Humans are worth more than that. Yeah, yeah. That's the excuse they use. And sure, some people are trying to game the system, but I guarantee a majority of them aren't, and they're just trying to seek help. And I can't tell you how many fucking posts I see people that have to post out and get some cash one way or another as they're trying to go through the process as well, because they can't get anything, and it's so disheartening, and it hurts so much, and it's so sad. End stage capitalism, yeah, for sure. Was more reasonable a few decades. Yeah, exactly. Oop. Oh my god. We're almost at 300 fates already. Holy shit. Rika, we've had a day today. Yeah, we could argue we're moving towards a techno-feudalism society, sure. We need an overhaul of medical. We need an overhaul of a lot. A lot. We need a whole structural overhaul. There's no reason for it to be as bad as it is yet. Here we are. Jesus. All right. Well, 6 more fates. We had another 300 fate day. I like that the fates go from 200 to 300 depending on how much that's going on in chat that day. I even have to extend it to a 400 one of these days. Especially on this subject. Good lord. What a frustrating ass subject it is, man. We were having to call to get physical therapy when they opened. It was like trying to call a radio station for Skinner tickets. Jesus, that's so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. Yeah, the whole scene just frustrates me to absolutely no end. And it's not just me that I'm hurt for, it's everybody. Because if it's happening to me, you know it's happening to people that are in much worse situations than I am. And like that just makes me want to cry. Like, I feel so bad for these people. All they want is help. All they want is a chance. And all they get is ignored. It's so disheartening. It's so inhuman. Yeah, I can only see 12 people in a day for a whole fucking town. Yeah. It's I mean, I don't necessarily blame all medical providers. My psych has been such a blessing to my life. She's amazing. I love talking to her. I look forward to every time that I go talk to her. She's learning right along as well. She's very open about it. And she's just a very open-minded, amazing person. Yeah, like, it's the monetization of everything that really ends up being the biggest issue. Fuck it, we're gonna do more. We're gonna do 100 more. Fuck it. It ends up being the monetization that's the issue, since capitalism just goes off of money. Money is king, money is all. Therefore, humanity got swept under the idea that we need to step on each other for some societal gain that really isn't even there. And for this dream that they lie to you about, that you too can attain this super big wealth if you just work hard enough. And, like, the ideas they put into people's heads, and then they get those people to believe it their whole life, just to watch them die in bitterness at the end, is so sad. People don't deserve that. Yeah, short-term profit, yep. Every year, they have to make higher and higher profits. They have to keep raising the bill, yet nobody seems to be being paid more money. Weird. Yet prices seem to keep going up. Weird. How is that happening? Huh. The soul of America is capitalism, industry, production, and money. That's the soul of America. It's not freedom. It's anything but freedom. It's just indentured servitude with another name. It really is. It really is, Crick Kraken. She's stuck in June of 1983. She needs to get caught up into this year and be as miserable as the rest of us. Being better long-term doesn't mean shit if they can be pushed too hard right now. Yeah, and be replaced by younger people for less money. So they don't even have to give them raises or do anything like that. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting behavior. Down to the very core. And how you get wrapped up in thinking that's the way life should be and just being completely oblivious to the people around you is something, even as a child, I could never understand. I've always had empathy in me. Maybe people's brains get screwed up all the time. I've always had empathy in me, though. It really hurt me whenever somebody that I was close to got hurt. And the idea of just ignoring the fact that other people would get hurt the same way that they do didn't make me want to go out and do those things. Like, I heard so much as younger, like, yeah, you gotta fight your way to the top, you gotta do this, you gotta, fuck your fellow coworker, just get to the top, money, 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 production, production. I think to be positive, the younger generation, oh yeah, I appreciate this young generation very much. Our generation got fucked over. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to it until our major part of our lives is kind of we're older now. The younger generation already knows they're fucked over, so they're actually trying to turn it around completely. I love the younger generation for that. I hope they take everything away from these boomer-ass motherfuckers that have ruined everything. I am all behind their efforts. I will support them in everything they do, because God knows, my ass is not compelled or mentally tough enough or smart enough to take on political boundaries like that and to usher in like a new era. But I can help, and I can spread the word, and I can do what I can. And that's what everybody should be mentally around. Like, don't beat yourself up if you can't do more than what you're doing. Do what you can, and don't sit your brain in this all the time too. I've gone very far out of my way in recent years to simply block out a lot of the negatives in the world, because humans were not meant for this kind of negative information all the time. There's a reason the depressive state of everybody is so bad right now, because it's bleak when you're looking at a world outcome where all the people that are supposed to be protecting you don't, and only care about themselves, and all your money is just going to them, and it's not helping anybody else. Like, who the fuck is going to be happy in that scenario? So, thankfully, the younger generation seems to be kicking ass in the right direction, which is a very positive vibe. There's a lot of positivity in the world. I don't want to get this completely bogged down in capitalistic society and industrial nonsense. There's actually a lot of positive in the world to be positive about and look forward to in the future. The younger generation is definitely getting a much better handle on it. I remember when I was younger, we didn't even really talk politics. It was all kind of hush-hush. These days, it's just out there. I like that. I like that they're getting their opinion across. I like that they're getting much more informed than we were. I think the best part about the internet is just about being able to share our experiences as people, meet people like-minded that we wouldn't ever get otherwise, and we can come together as a people and understand that no matter where we're from, no matter what country, what part of the planet, north, south, east, west, we all want just to be happy and live our own lives in pursuit to what makes us happy, and not to be bogged down in a life of servitude for other people to get rich so they can play out all their fantasies. Nobody wants that. And nobody should have that. Everybody should be able to get a chance to do what they want in life. Everybody. There's no reason that you shouldn't. Don't look down on people just because they don't have the same status as you. Why don't you help them enjoy their life too? Fuck underground people! And Weast. East? I thought you said Weast. Weast? What kind of so you looking at there, boy? Well, early SpongeBob was seriously some of the funniest shit. But seriously, like, that's the thing I've noticed most about meeting people from all over the fucking planet is, like, so many people just want comfort and stability. That's all they want. And that isn't at all too much to ask for at this time in humanity's growth, because we have that. We have more than enough of that for everyone, and whoever says otherwise is fucking lying to you. How much shit these billionaires and one percenters hoard is obtuse to think about, even in mathematically terms. It's so obtuse to think about. Yeah, we don't want to be treated as commodities. We just want to be treated as people. We want to be seen as human beings, not produce. How many songs have to be made about this? How many fucking marches? How many statements, you know? But it doesn't help when the simplistic breakdown of, oh, well, they're gay, they're evil, and 30% of people are like, yeah. It's like, what? Like, it's like, what? They would probably want to be treated as oh, well, talk about that, Tengu. That's just a little different. There are plenty of people who want to be treated differently and, behind the scenes, and that's fine. Whatever you're into, I encourage you to enjoy it just as much as everything else. I'm reading somewhere that you get people are spending their money on luxury experiences over luxury items. Yeah. Because that's all that fucking matters. Nobody's going to remember the gold watch they bought 30 years ago, but if you take a trip, maybe you'll have a memory you'll remember the whole life that you'd like to share with people. That sounds a lot more nice than a fancy suit, a fancy dress. Now, mind you, I do love a good dress. But experience. Things happening. We are humans. We crave togetherness in our own ways, one way or another. We need togetherness one way or another. And it's okay if you do want to be on your own. That's okay. But the core of humanity, we need attention. We need to be able to show ourselves without being mocked, without being hated for it, without being manipulated or gaslit. Like, we simply just want to exist with people that, like, nobody is ever going to get along with everybody, because different personalities just sometimes don't click, and that's also okay. And different interests don't click, and that's also okay. It's just about respecting your fellow person. And maybe you can even learn to enjoy things through other people in that regard, Oh, you do this thing I've never heard about. That sounds interesting. What is it about? And my God, you will see people open up so much and be so happy if you just take a little interest in them. It's completely fair. Like, people like talking about the things they're interested in. And I think that's one of the most fascinating part about people, is when you get them talking about the things they love. It's intoxicating, because their energy can be so vibrant and bright. And you can just see the happiness oozing off them when they're going through that, or you can hear it. And you can definitely feel it in the atmosphere. I find getting the most positiveness and happiness out of somebody does way more than any other approach that I have had against people, talking to people, in anything in my life. Most people are so closed off because they've been so hurt from just wanting to share who they are that they stop. And that's sad. That's really sad. That makes me really sad. Raiders. Yo, Iggy, thank you so much for the raid. Shoutouts to Iggy. Oh yeah, this is the Daily Nipah. This has actually been going on a lot longer because I feel like I had a lot more to say today. We were talking about, the world, capitalism, and the future of humanity. It's just one of those casual conversations. But yeah, I've always found, and this gets more true as I get older, that when you talk to people, especially when you get really interested in talking to people, like, it's almost like reading an amazing book that can never end. Because they're just going to keep talking, and it's so wonderful. It's such a nice feeling. Seeing people so happy and in their element. I like feed off that. I love that. And so as I've been watching these shows and such, and talking to people about it, and seeing, the reactions and the happiness, and like that really sits with me. That will always sit with me in my brain, and I'll be like, yeah. And that good feeling just kind of saturates in your brain, and it just gives you positive feelings, and it literally improves the rest of your day. Like, if you're going into things with such a like nice feel because you've just you've had that nice conversation and or you've had that nice experience of watching something or something along that line, I think it really stands to be a really nice experience of. That's a hell of an ending roll today. That is a hell of an ending roll. But thank you, Rika. It's been a wonderful day. We've had 400 fates today. This is by far our most fated day. Yeah, it was almost our second Nipah of 5s. That's how I end up with other things such as furry conventions. The enjoyment factor oozes out of certain things like that. Sure. Yeah, we did. We had a Nipah of all 1s and all 5s so far. Those are the 2 Nipahs we have. But to put a cap on this, the world is frustrating, deeply depressing, sad, and harsh. But at the same time, it's full of love, great people, good communities, good media to consume with each other, and just in general, there's real happy spots and there's real happy places. We did 400 today, Blank. And I think it's important that you talk to those people and make sure that they're okay. And it's why, like, when I really get interested in talking to somebody, it's so nice. It's such a nice experience. And it just leaves me feeling good. And I try to project that towards the people who make me feel that way and towards the audience as well. Because it's important that everybody's happy. That's why I like to keep it positive on stream all the time. I don't mind talking about the tough stuff, but I like keeping it much, the happy vibe. And I think Rika Frude Simulator 24 Game of the Year edition here has been such a great way of just having nice discussions in the morning and also playing a fun game. Make sure that you download it as well at socksmakepeoplesexy.itch.io, amongst many other amazing games that Polly and company have made. She really is a great game-making individual and a great person. Man who yelled oatmeal over the radio. Enrica's survival and ours, thank you, Kraken. Seriously, one of the nicest people I've ever met and does so much good people never will realize. Yeah, that's the thing. It's great. Like, the people who end up making some of the biggest differences just do it because they want to. Mr. Rogers. Like, everybody shows him as such an iconic, wholesome figure. He did it because he wanted to. Like, when you look over and listen to him talking to Congress and him fighting for that, basically his ability to do that. Yeah. Like that, like people like that are like the real heroes in society. Those are the actual heroes. People who have made it a better place for everybody. Even just the littlest benchmarks, And that's such a sweet thing. Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, is honestly an amazing human being for what he did. And it's stuff like that is the wholesomeness I think this world needs to start getting behind as a whole. So we can heal as a people and start leading our children and our younger generations into something more wholesome, more people-bound, more togetherness. I don't want to use family. I just want humanity as a whole to have kind of a togetherness. There's, Fred Rogers, Jim Henson, yes. Jim Henson's another one. Like, people like that just do what they love, but also do it in a way where they want everybody to feel safe. And and protected and loved for who they are. And everybody deserves that. Everybody. Unless you've gone into something that is too far for you to come back from. There are, of course, situations for that, but I would say, as a whole, everybody just needs their necessities and needs to understand the warmth that communities can bring. They didn't get Sesame Street, yeah. Sake both hot and cold because of the cockroach and wines, too. I guess just in general, I just really want to say that look out for each other, you know? It's hard. It's hard doing this shit by yourself. There's a lot of like-minded people out there. You don't have to give up. Like, I know it's hard. I've been at the edge several times. Each time I eventually got either I asked for help, which isn't a bad thing. Ask for help if you need it. Or I pulled myself out of it one way or another. And I am still here today, and I'm happy that I am still here today, which is something I would never think I would say like 3 years ago. But I am. I get to stream every day, and I get to talk to people, and it feels so much better. And it's just really nice. And I just want everybody to kind of find that approach as well, whichever way you do. There's no one approach to everything that'll work. You just gotta find what works for you. And just know that to watch a cute girl become a blood smear 3,600 times in a row. Rika is bringing us all together. Rika might be the hero we really deserve. But, just trying to find happiness, and make sure that you're not taking happiness from other people when you're doing it. There's more than enough happiness to go around. There's no need to be overtly controlling. Just enjoy yourself. And be the best you can be. And that's all that really can be said. I try to project as much positivity as I can everywhere, even on my hardest days. As you, I'm sure, have heard in my voice and me talk about on stream. It's just something that's going to happen when you stream every day. But, in general, the whole reason I stream in the first place is because I like connecting with people who enjoy the similar things that I do. And we can come together and enjoy that experience, and we can come out of the day maybe feeling, a little better, a little more fun, a little more enjoyment, a little happier, just a little bit. Something to get you through the night and feel good. Wake up tomorrow and feel good too. And then continue it, because that is, as humans, that's kind of how our systems kind of function in general. Like, we just need that kind of thing. We need as people, we need each other. Like, it's another thing that a lot of people have been brainwashed out of, is like, we absolutely need each other. And I think it's so impressive that people can go out there and do everything on their own. I think that's super fucking impressive, because I can't do that. Like, I just can't. Like, I've always looked at people that can do all that shit in a day, and it blows me away. And I'm just fucking, and it makes me happy seeing those people thrive. It's just when it starts to get into such the negatives that come with that kind of approach on life is more narcissistic, I feel, in general. So a lot of people might fall into the narcissistic category, get a little too full of themselves or something like that. But I always find it impressive that people can go out and do the things they do every single day, because I can't. this is what I can do in a day. I stream. That's what I can do. My brain, I ain't going out there in the world to do too much. I will break down as Bochi does and turn into a little human puddle. Or explode. God, that was so funny. I don't know, I like, something that always makes me happy is watching people thrive. And when I watch my friends get things they've been working on a long time, and things they've been working hard to, or something they really want. Like, I don't have much money, but I always try to help people that to get their thing, because I don't care about money. Like, I don't. Money is just a way to do things with other people. You're not a cat a chance. Oh, thank you, Kraken. But I'm human. I have jealousy too. You know, I am not off by any means. I am not above anybody else. I have the same jealousies, envies, frustrations as everybody else. Yo, thank you, Zest. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Iggy. I appreciate that. Yo, enjoy those emotes, Iggy. And yeah, I know you've had a lot of issues, Iggy, with that liver. But it's nice to keep you seeing such a positive approach to it. And, like, situations like that are so tough. It's situations that, or kidney, sorry. Sorry about that. Like, I get them confused sometimes. Either way, it's nice to see that you still have such a positive vibe and you continue doing your thing through it all. Because that's life, man. It's hard. It's really fucking hard. But sometimes the right people come along and you realize you're still on that right path, too. You realize you're still where you should be. And it's just a really nice, warm feeling. The people are like, yeah, exactly. This is why humans need to... They need to clear out the pride aspect. Like, it's okay to be prideful of yourself. The problem is being too prideful to get help. You aren't strong. Trust me. I appreciate the fact that you can do these things on your own, but if you are a person that refuses to ask for help, that just makes you weak, in my opinion. That means you don't trust anybody, and that, like... Later, Tengu Gemini. Thanks for heading out. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. I should probably wrap this up at some point. It's just one of those days where I had a lot to say, I think. I think we all get the point. And I guess all in all, I just really want to say how much I appreciate everyone that has come into my life. Everyone that still is in my life. And how much they mean. And that I just want them to be as happy as they can be, and I want to help them achieve that. And I just want to see all of us happy, you know? It's a real shame that we have to wake up every day into the society we do, but the luxury of the internet and where we are means we can hang out with each other and kind of bridge that disaster, kind of build a wall. Because there's so much negativity that there's nothing we can do individually. Like, yes, we can fight for everything, and we are fighting for everything. But on an individual level, if you're trying to consume and take all that in, you're going to get too consumed, and it will take you down in the end, unless you have the mental fortitude of a god, which some people do. But, you gotta give yourself some time to relax. You can't just get caught up in world issues. It's really important that you keep time for yourself and you make sure that your own mental health is where it needs to be. Because if your own mental health isn't where it needs to be, you can't really explain your message or help other people in the way that you might want to without leaking into your own intrusive thoughts or something along that line. And you do need I figure at some point everybody in life is gonna need help. So, like, just be open with it. Make sure that you give other people the respect that you want. Other people just like living in the things they like. You don't really have to just hate on them for liking things. Let people love their lives and enjoy them for who they are, instead of trying to make them into something they're not. Because the beauty within people is their uniqueness. And that uniqueness is what keeps us as individuals in a sea of humanity. And the uniqueness of an individual is what should be celebrated. I think we all have a little too much expectations from ourselves and the people around us sometimes to be what they're not. And that's a bad mindset to be in. I think the healthiest way to view it is just look at people and see them as they are and take them as they are. And if there's somebody that you feel you can communicate with, please do. Make that connection. If you think you aren't able to make friends, you're wrong. The only difference is getting the courage and ability to work up to make those conversations happen in the first place. Or finding a device like streaming to be able to get out and connect with people as much as possible as well. I have gone out of my shell so much since starting to stream, and it wouldn't be the case if I gave up on it. I was out of it for like a year due to mental health reasons, but I came back, and I came back stronger than ever because I came back for the right reasons. I probably lost myself a little bit along the way trying to make it too monetized versus enjoying my time. And when my mental health took a severe turn for the worst, because I got burnt out, it took me almost a full year. No, it almost took me almost full 2 years to actually get back into streaming regularly, because I was so mentally out of it. I was so mentally done. But there's always those little tidbits along the way where you can find yourself, even in the darkest of places. You follow those breadcrumbs to get home, and you can wake up again, and you can truly be the person that you were meant to be. And that really is the most beautiful thing in humanity, which is why I stress uniqueness over everything else. I don't care about body perfection. I don't care about your status. I don't care about how much money you have. All I care is how you are as a person, how you treat those around you. Is the absolute model of humanity and what makes a human good. And those are the kind of people I like being around. That's the chat I like, and honestly, that's how I feel about everybody in the chat that comes here every day and talks. You know, they have You spend all your time here every day as well, with me, going through all this adventures, going through all my ridiculous shenanigans, and my anger streaks, and the low points, and you're still here. And that makes me so happy, that you're comfortable enough to keep coming back. And you enjoy it enough here that you want to come back and hang out. And I think that's really all streaming was to me in the beginning. I just lost my way and found it again. And honestly, the people I've met from streaming are some of the coolest people I've ever met. I've learned so much, and I continue learning things every day. So, to sum all of this speech up, thank you. I wouldn't be here without y'all, and that's just the truth. This was the Daily Nipah for the day. If you would like to check out Rika Fruity Simulator 24 yourself, once again, the link's on the top of the screen. Thank you so very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, I'd also appreciate that. Positive vibes, y'all, and have a wonderful night.